studios here at home, the RV studio, and we're gonna share some somber things with you tonight. A little bit. I'm gonna read something in just a moment out of the Word of God. I'm gonna go to First Timothy chapter 3, as soon as I can find it. There's Thessalonians. I know I'm almost there, and it's actually Second Timothy chapter 3. Anybody else have that problem with the two Timothys? And trying to remember which one's which. I got some glasses here somewhere. And welcome. We're coming to you this September 11th. That's an important day in history, right? I still got a lot of questions about September 11th, 2001. Questions that'll probably never be answered this side of heaven. And but this is the anniversary of that. Yesterday is going to be another anniversary, the anniversary of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And been a strange 24-hour period here for me. And I mean, it's everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's just every time you get it out of your mind and you're trying to move on, it just there it is again. And very sad. I just before I sat down here, I got something up on the other computer. I was watching, and they showed the vice president and his wife landing. I guess I'm not sure where. The vice president's Air Force Two. You probably saw that he was one of the guys helping with the coffin, bringing Charlie Kirk home. He was there, and on the plane, they had the family. They had Erica, I believe her name is Erica, and Erica and the vice president's wife walked off the plane, and she was holding her hand, and very moving, very moving. And of course, I'm sure the casket was on board, and um, funeral arrangements coming up here soon, right? Just an amazing day yesterday. Going to be a life changing. Going to be an America changing day. So it is. What is it about? 8:15, 8:20 p.m. something like that. I know. Oh, here it is. 8:25. 8:25 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I want to talk tonight about Civil War. Civil War in America. Is Civil War coming to America? Or let me say it this way: is Civil War already here? I believe it is. I believe we've been in a civil war for several years now, going back even before. Remember the guy, the black man that the policeman had his knee on his neck and the guy dies? And, Floyd, remember that? Remember the riots that came? They burned cities, they burned police stations. Now, is that not civil war? Did they prosecute one human being for that? No, uh, Civil War. And I think you can go back before that, but that's a good place to start. While President Trump was in office, remember they were burning cities to the ground, Seattle and other places. Civil War. See, when we think of Civil War, here's the problem: we think of Gettysburg. We think of the war between the North and the South, and the cannons and the muskets, and that's what we think of. And that was, yeah, that was Civil War. I Some of us have a different name for that, the War of Northern Aggression, right? Um, the War of Northern Aggression. Civil War, it's called in the history books. Remember, the victor writes the history books. Don't believe everything you read in a book. Do some research. Look at other opinions. Try to get all the facts. Okay, because the victor, the winner, gets to write the books, the history books, and teach the next generation their view of what happened. Okay, so um, Second Timothy chapter 3. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come. This is becoming more prominent is in the prophecy world every day. I know we do shows, and every once in a while we'll hit one of the signs of the end times is perilous times, and we'll talk about it's here. It's been here for some time. We are in perilous times. It's dangerous today. It's dangerous. These are dangerous times. Hey, Pastor, have you got security at your church? One of these days, it's going to be your church. That some wild eye guy on drugs or prescription medicine or something. Some guy's going to come in and try to wipe out your church. Have you got security? You say, well, we're trusting God. Of course, we're trusting God. Do you lock your door at home? Do you wear a seatbelt? Do you see what I'm saying? Just because you're trusting God doesn't mean you don't lock your door at night. It's called wisdom. It's called being smart, right? God put a head on your shoulders. God gave you a brain, and yes, we trust God, but we lock our doors, right? Some of us carry guns. It's biblical. I hope, Pastor, that you've got some security, some trained people at your church that are helping to secure the atmosphere there for your people, because I think things are going to get worse and worse and worse. Um, which one is the low volume? Is it YouTube or Facebook? Um, let's see, YouTube. I'm using this. Facebook. I'm about 2 feet away from the iPad. Hopefully, it's loud enough. Should be. There's nothing I can do, I don't think, at this moment if it's not. So somebody let me know, maybe Ramona or somebody on Facebook. Um, are we okay on the volume? Let me see here. Is there any other comments there? Oh, Steve says Facebook. Okay, Facebook. And you may just have to turn yours up a little bit, and um because at this stage there's nothing I can do anyway. I can only use the headset on one of them, I think. I'm not sure about that, but I have the headset going to my iPhone for the YouTube. Because quite honestly, we get a lot of hits on Facebook, but YouTube stays there, and it's easy for people to find. Facebook gets way down after a while. You got to scroll way down to find it. So I think it's better quality as well on the YouTube channel. So those of you on Facebook, if you're having trouble hearing, you may want to go and watch it on YouTube. Hey, my buddy from the U.S. Navy, Mr. Ron Auger, has snuck in here. He's from Connecticut. He's a tremendous man. I love that guy. He worked for me in the Navy. He just a sweet guy. We had some good times together, Mr. Ron. I wish we could get together and have coffee sometime. And we may be coming up through, though I don't go through Connecticut anymore. We drive around Vermont. We don't go through Massachusetts and Connecticut. We try to stay out of them places. And for reasons that I will not disclose tonight. But anyway, perilous times. There's a whole list of things that the Bible lists here. Perilous times shall come. This know also in the last days, perilous, dangerous times shall come. We're there. We're there. Just ask the people at the rally yesterday. Are these dangerous times? You bet. By the way, look at what's happened since then. Look at all the comments. Look at the Facebook posts. Look at the little videos. People are interviewing people. What do you think about the shooting of Charlie Kirk and these unbelievable animal like people? I'm glad he's dead. He deserved to die. Unbelievable. They're not even ashamed to do it on on video. It's I'd say it's shocking, but I've been doing this so long now, I'm not shocked anymore. What man will do to his fellow man, and it's just a shame what our country has turned into. Now, where did this start? I think I think some of it started after World War II. I think we were tired as a country, and I think we gave in, and a little bit of rebellion began, and a little bit of wild living of the young people began. And but 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 then you come to the '60s. Remember a lady named Marilyn Madeline O'Hare? I think that was her name. Remember she sued and went to the Supreme Court, I think, and she got prayer out of the schools. Later on, the Bible's going to be thrown out. And then later on, down south, remember Judge Roy Moore? Was that his name? Fighting over the Ten Commandments in his courtroom, and we lost that battle. Right, and now the schools, God is not in our schools. They teach evolution. It used to be a theory. Now they just teach it. And there's no God taught, no creation, no alternate view. And so we're living in a nation where kids are growing up in school, and if they're not getting anything at home, or if they're not in church, they're learning at school that they came from a monkey. In other words, they're learning that they're nothing but an animal. And they're being taught that Steve Reamy finally learned how to post on YouTube. Everybody give him a hand. Brother Reamy, Pastor Reamy has learned how to post on YouTube. And that's funny. He's always telling me, I don't know how to get the comments. I don't know how to do it. How do you post on there? I think he figured it out tonight. And so we uh, we got a bunch of kids that grow up from kindergarten through the 12th grade, and they're brainwashed. They're taught they came from animals, monkeys. They're taught that there's no God. They're taught that there's there's what's fair and what's not fair and all this crazy stuff. Um, and so um, they're brainwashed, and they come out of high school, and they don't believe anything anymore. And then they go to college, and God help us. God help them. Colleges are a mess. Moms and dads, quit saving your money to send your kid to college. It's destroying our young people. Oh, but I need my child to get a good job and get a good education. No guarantee that he's going to get a good job. He's probably going to be in debt $500,000 probably, and take him decades to pay, and probably not going to get that good of a job. But he's going to. Many of them are going to get brainwashed. They're going to just get brainwashed and desensitized, and get caught up in the lasciviousness lifestyle of your average college student. Think twice about that. Our colleges, our liberal bastions of thought, and that's what Charlie Kirk has been doing for years. He goes to these colleges, sets up, and invites people to come, and he challenges them to come forward, and doing a tremendous job. By the way, you churches out there, you pastors, we have dropped the ball in America. We have dropped the ball. Shame on us. We need to be in these colleges. We need to have a ministry to the colleges within driving distance of your church. Why are we not? Well, they're too, them things are terrible. I'm not sending my people there. That's the mission field, my friend. Listen, maybe quit sending your missionaries to the Philippines and send some missionaries to the college in town. It's a mission field. We're losing our country. We're losing our young people. We've got to reach the kids in these colleges. Somebody's got to pick up the baton that was dropped in Utah yesterday about 12:30 p.m. or whatever time it was. Someone's got to pick up that baton and say, I'll go. Charlie Kirk is gone, but I'll go. I'll go, and I'll try to reach them people in the colleges. Now, get a hold of the administration, try to get some sort of permission, get a date, get a time, maybe a room or a date, or maybe out in the courtyard. Uh, Pray, get on your knees and pray. Find a way to get in there and get a foot in the door at the college institutions in your area. My goodness, it's a wide open mission field. I know it's rough. I know them kids are gonna, them college kids are gonna frown at you and they're gonna make fun of you. We got it. We got to get in and we've got to reach them for Jesus Christ. And listen, these are becoming the enemies of our country. Do you understand? The kids coming out of there are going to be your next congressmen and senators and governors and presidents. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach this generation of college kids, and we got to do what we can to get into high schools and the. My goodness, we've got to. I'm all for foreign missions. Don't get me wrong, but my goodness, the mission field has become our backyards now. We're leaving our areas and we're sending money overseas to reach somebody overseas, and we've got a mission field right in our city. Not saying that not to do one and to leave the other. I'm saying we got to do both. Listen, Acts chapter 1, in Judea, Samaria, and yeah, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the outermost parts of the world. We got to reach it all. But I'm afraid it's a little easier to write a check and send it to a mission board somewhere and let somebody else go do it. What about you in your church physically doing it in your area? See what I'm saying? We got to get serious about we're losing. I want to say we've lost our country, and maybe we have, but we're losing our country. And if something big doesn't happen pretty soon, we're going down the tubes. Civil War. Civil War, I believe, has already started years ago. And I believe the decadence began with the kicking God out of our schools, kicking God out of kicking the Bible out, kicking prayer out, kicking all classes and mentions of creation, and now they say school's got to be secular, and that Christianity and creation, all that, the separation of church and state, which is a lie, which is a lie. And but we've sat back and we've let this happen, and we've got to fix this. Civil War. Civil War is not what you're thinking, as I started to say earlier, with the North and the South, the Yankees, the Rebels, muskets and lining up and shooting cannons, and that was Civil War. But I think Civil War can mean something else too. I think Civil War can doesn't have to be armies facing off each other. Are we not in Civil War when every time something something happens, the liberal and the left wing crowd starts to burn buildings down and they protest something? Remember the Roe v. Wade recently? What did they do? They burned buildings to the ground. They set cars on fire, police departments, police cars, and sat back and let them do it. That's Civil War, my friend. The Civil War has been raging for some time, and you can see the boldness of these people now. They're not afraid to be on live camera. When you ask them a question like about Charlie Kirk and his death, and "Yeah, I think he deserved to die, and I'm glad he died." I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Boldness. They're not afraid because they've been in this war for some time. We're a little late to the war, and so is that Civil War? Is, are we coming up on a civil war, or are we in one? And if we're in one, what happens next? Where does this thing go from here? Is this thing going to escalate? I think it already has. Now it's gonna take some bold moves on the Trump administration. It's going to take some quick, bold. It's going to take some quick and bold moves to head this off. I don't know all the answers, but I'm telling you, there needs to be some arrests. I mean, there needs to be some arrest soon. We've been over 6 months now, and we haven't seen anything. They've had their hearings, and they're doing this and that. There needs to be some arrest. There needs to be some indictments of these guys, these guys from the past administrations that brought us where we are today. Literally opened the borders, illegally flooded our country with a bunch of thugs, and somebody's got to pay the price for this. That would be a big help right there. Start arresting all these leaders and put the fear of God in some people about this disorderly and destructive conduct out there. And here we are, 2025, and they celebrated September 11th in New York today. Have we learned the lessons? Remember, they all said never forget. We forgot. We forgot. And so, all right, perilous times. Not asking you. I'm not suggesting that you cower in fear. Don't do that. We're God's people. God's not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And rise up. My sister Paula up in Maine, she posted something on her page. It might have been Instagram. Man, it really got me. It showed Charlie Kirk in heaven, and I don't know if they were embracing, but Jesus was there. And Charlie Kirk was asking a question. He said, "Will somebody pick up the microphone?" And behind them, you can see a microphone on the ground where somebody has left it, and that somebody's Charlie Kirk. When he died, the microphone fell on the ground, and it's laying there. And he asked, "Will somebody pick up the microphone? In other words, will somebody continue what I started?" And I think Jesus said, "I think somebody will pick it up." Now, some of us need to pick that up. I'm not saying that you go and take over his ministry. I'm not talking about that. I don't know if anybody can do that, but maybe I'm hoping somebody fills his shoes and continues that broadcast that he had, and his going to the colleges. I hope some people step up to the plate in his ministry there. But I'm talking to some pastors tonight. I'm talking to some young men tonight. I'm talking to some ladies tonight. And maybe you're not busy for the Lord. We got to get busy. We've got to pick up the baton, and somebody's got to cry aloud against sin. Somebody's got to comfort the brokenhearted. Somebody's got to pick up the fallen. Somebody's got to lift up the broken. Somebody's got to heal the wounds of the wounded. Now, let me go just a tad further with this. This is not just the world that's in trouble here. This is not just a civil war between the liberal and the conservative. Let me go a little further here. This is a this is a war between between different Christian factions, different church ministries, different churches around our country. Have you seen what's happening to us? We're not fighting Satan anymore. We're fighting each other. Somebody said the Christian army is the only army that kills its wounded or kicks them. And I have witnessed that. That is true. Somebody falls in the ministry, we kick him and beat him and try to destroy him. I think we'd lynch him if we could get away with it. What's happened to us? It's not just the world at Civil War. It's not just the world that's fighting and killing each other. It's God's people. It's the people of God. It's preachers fighting other preachers. It's pastors uh, crashing other pastors. Now, I'm not talking about a pastor protecting his flock from somebody who's spreading false doctrine. I understand that we got to do that. I'm talking about someone that maybe does something a little bit different. Maybe their music's a little different than yours. Maybe they dress a little different than you. It's none of your business. None of your business. God oversees that man. Let God handle that. And the evangelist has the part to play here. We're killing each other. We're destroying each other. Here it is. In the last days, the Lord's coming, fighting the devil. We're killing each other. We're part of this problem. In fact, I think Christians and churches and preachers are the main problem. I think preachers are the main problem. I think we need preaching. Preachers don't preach anymore. They get their sermons off the internet. That it's not a sermon for their people. It's something they dug offline that sounded good, and they preach it to their church. So YouTube stopped on me. Is it moving? There you go. I think it's moving now. Had a call come in. I should have just left it alone. Yeah. All right. We're ticking again there. He's got diabetes. He's got half a leg. He's got fingers missing. Very overweight. I love that guy. His name is Howard. Pray for him. He's just had pneumonia. He was just in the hospital. Well, these guys with diabetes and in his condition, I mean, they die, right? And he was just in the hospital. He's home again. I talked to him today. He said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I said, no, you call anytime you need to talk. I don't care what time it is. And so probably needs money. That's why he's calling. So I'm going to send him to Steve Remy's number. And no, I'm kidding. And so I'll call him in just a minute when we get off of here. And Civil War. Be advised, pastors, make sure your church is ready. It's good versus evil. If you're one of the good guys, you're in danger. You've got to protect your flock. It's your job. Have some security, get somebody to come in and help train your people, your security guys. There's more to this than just standing at the door. There's a lot to know to be able to properly, protect your people at your church. There's a lot. And I think we're in some dangerous times. And be advised that as you travel around town, especially you ladies, and be advised these are dangerous times. Did you know I used to teach ladies self-defense classes? I taught them several churches. Um, Usually didn't allow any men in. I'd be the only man in there. Women are kind of funny about some of this, and I don't blame them. But some of the things that we discussed, and I was hard on them. I scared them half to death, I think. And my purpose was to try to help them not get in a bad situation where they can't get away. And um, I taught them a few self-defense things, but not many. Taught a little bit about guns, but really my main thing wasn't about guns. But there was a little portion in there where I taught. I showed them how easy it is to disarm somebody. And the only reason I show them that is to let them know you never get within arm's reach with your firearm, because a guy with just a little bit of training can either knock that away or take it from you. If you've got your gun out, it means there's a threat, and you don't let that person get within his arm's reach. And I know I would have the gun if it was me. I've done it many times in practice, but it's scary if it's a loaded gun. I would never practice with a loaded gun, obviously. That gun can go off. In fact, it usually will, and you hope the gun is pointed at them when it happens. So, but it's got to be that's a serious threat. And these are dangerous times, especially for women. I taught the women, I said, this is the most dangerous time in the history of America to be a woman. This is a crazed generation. You know what I'm talking about. And very dangerous for you ladies. And so keep that in mind. It's time to rethink what you and your wife do and what your wife does alone. It's time to rethink some of these. Things are not as they were in this country. And I think they're fixing to get a lot worse. Um, so let's see what happens. And again, you preachers out there, it's time to quit. It's time to quit fighting the brethren and fight Satan. It's time to quit fighting God's people and start fighting the imps of hell, right? It's time to get our focus back where it's supposed to be. And I'm serious about this. This is more serious than what's happening out there in the political world. Church, and by the way, that's why the world's a mess, is because we're a mess. because God's people are a mess and our churches have gone downhill. We're not doing anything. We're worldly, and the world is falling apart around us because we've lost our influence. If we've lost our savor, we've lost our saltiness. If the salt has lost its savor, wherewithal shall it be salted? We're supposed to influence and change the world around us, but I'm afraid the world is influencing us because we've lost our influence. And where our preachers are too busy fighting the pastor across town instead of fighting the devil. Well, my brother, good, you don't understand that guy. He doesn't believe some things that I do. Well, whoop-de-doo. Well, he has a boss. His boss is named God. You're not his boss. You may be right about his stand is wrong on something, but you're not God. He doesn't work for you. We're independent. Look, you ought to have enough to do at your church, but you ain't got time to try to straighten out somebody else's mess, right? And here we are. Here we are at the end of all things, and God's people are fighting with God's people while the world goes to hell. And all right, now you like that or you lump that? And lump it if you want, or get right with God, and let's have some mini revivals spring out in our churches, and let's storm the gates of hell, and let's make a difference in these last days, if we can. Okay. All right, I am taking prophecy conferences. If you like a guy like me that says it, tells it like it is, and yells and screams and spits sometimes, if you'd like to hear some old-fashioned Bible prophecy with some PowerPoint presentation, I would love to come to your church. There's two ways you can do it. We can do a prophecy Sunday. What that means is I come in on Saturday and we do all day Sunday. I'll do Sunday school. I'll do the Sunday morning service. I'll do the Sunday evening service, and we'll try to, if we can, we'll throw in an extra question and answer service in there, and that'd be awesome. And or number two, if you feel like you can handle it, your facilities, and maybe you got other churches you can get involved, we'll do a multi-day thing. That would be mainly for your church. You'll host it, but we'll send out letters and we'll call. We'll try to get other churches to come on those non-Sunday days. Okay. Pray about that. Call me, contact me if you'd like, if you just want some information, how this works. What's it cost, Brother Goodwin? I'd love to chat with you about that and tell you all the details, and we can pray about to come into your area. Okay. Um, anyway, I think that's about it. So I'll go ahead and get the Facebook off. Any comments on there I need to see? Let's see. We got Linda is here. Yvette. Hey, Miss Yvette. I don't know if you're still here up in Pennsylvania. Michael is here. Todd is in Poplar Bluff. And Howard is on here. So quit calling me, Howard. I'm live here. I'll call you in just a minute, Howard. And I saw that you called twice, and I'm going to call you as soon as I get off of here. And get your credit card. I charge $5 a minute. And I'm kidding. And so I'll get rid of Facebook and then I'll get rid of YouTube here. And keep your eyes on them skies. Okay, Facebook is off. YouTube, we had a good crowd tonight on YouTube. Again, it's been strange, hasn't it, with the assassination of somebody all of us knew of, a good man, a good man, and a good family. And it's been strange, isn't it? But let's use this for God's glory. Let's make something come out of this. I'd like to see revivals break out. I'd like to see a movement come along that make what he had dwarfed in comparison, and show the other crowd that you don't mess with God's people. And may God send a big army of us to influence these college kids, and boy, oh boy. All right. Well, good to see you. Good to have everybody on. Let me see real quickly if there's any. There is a bunch of comments. I didn't see them. Minnesota's here. My heart is so broken for his family. Me too, Miss Carolyn. A young lady, beautiful lady, two little beautiful kids. I've seen some videos here and there of the little girl running to her dad. Heartbreaking, heartbreaking. And I don't think I've ever cried so much. Don't get You're going to get me crying. Now cut that out. Um, Man, I've cried several times too with some of this, and I've never met the man, and but I've seen him many times on YouTube shows, and um, so let's see, Quincy, Illinois. That's Brother Remy. He pastors there. If you're in the Illinois, Southern Illinois, Quincy, Illinois area, if you need any help and would like to visit his church, let me know. I'll get you in touch there. Um, you sound so much better on YouTube than Facebook. Of course, and I told you that I'm using this. Can only do one at a time, so I do the YouTube with the mouth with the earpiece and the microphone, where Facebook is just the speaker in the iPad there. Um, let's see. Charlie Kirk is a hero, but he spoke out. He spoke out. I thought my coffee was spilled for a second there. And I did that one night. Some of you probably remember. Charlie Kirk is a hero. He spoke out against the pathocracy, Democrat psycho. Boy, I can't even say that word. Brother Remy says believers are supposed to be provoking one another unto love and good works. Hebrews chapter 10. Amen. And all right. I had almost no notes as usual, and just a couple things here. In fact, I read one headline, but I didn't read some other stuff I'd written down. A lot of times I have something on my heart, and I come on and it expands. I can't control it. It just goes a certain direction, and sometimes I'm scripted, but very very seldom. And not against having an outline. If I'm preaching in a church, I'm gonna have some sort of an outline. Especially if you're doing PowerPoint, that kind of keeps you in an outline. But what I do here, usually I very seldom have anything. Sometimes I'll teach something out of one of my books, and but anyway, here we are at the end of all things. Let's do something for God before that trumpet sounds, and that day is coming, and it's coming soon. Ladybug, thank you. Ladybug's been with us, I think, 7 years. She's been with us here at Crossing the Spotlight. I'll tell you what. Um, Eventually, I'll say something to make her mad. No, I'm kidding. But appreciate everybody that follows us. Remember, we are a viewer-supported ministry. I need to start putting a way to give on these YouTubes. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. And there are people that would probably give. Some people would give every time we come on, probably if we had something. I got to get working on that. We have people send us checks. We have people who donate on the website with the credit card and all that. And we're viewer supported. The TV is very, very expensive. And we have an audience there, and we don't want to, even though it's expensive, we feel the need is there, and there's an audience there. And they've been the backbone of the whole ministry ever since we started over 5 years ago. And but it takes money and very expensive, and everything is viewer supported. We have no sponsors, and it's people writing checks and donating via the credit card and all that. So anyway, keep that in mind. We know that a lot of you are living paycheck to paycheck or retirement, and we wouldn't ask you to give your food money or anything like that. And if you can't give, that's fine. We're gonna Somebody else will meet that need. And all right, God bless you, Miss Ladybug. I understand. There's a couple times it really hit me. I had a rough night last night, and yesterday was a rough day, and then this morning a little bit again. And everywhere you go, I mean, there it is again, and you keep reliving it. And you know what? He's in glory. He's in heaven. His family, I know it's painful. I cry too. They're going to be okay. Erica's going to be okay. The two little kids are going to be okay. There's a God. in heaven. And there's a bunch of people that are getting around them. They're going to be okay. I think I saw Elon Musk gonna support those kids, and somebody else I think I saw same thing. Trying to remember who it was. There was somebody else. They're going to be fine. I think I saw a go send it thing that started. I didn't click on it, but they're going to be fine. They're going to grieve. Of course, they're going to grieve, but they're going to be all right, and we're going to be all right. We know where this all ends, right? We know what's coming. Well, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of the King. He's building a mansion for me up there, and I'm going to spend eternity away from this mess here, and so are you. I know it hurts right now. I know there's tears and confusion and what in the world is going on kind of stuff. It's going to be all right. I promise you. Stay in the book, stay on your knees, keep your faith in Him, keep loving people and trying to help people. It's going to be okay. All right. God bless. Keep your eyes on them skies.